Skew it.
Didn't I tell you that if you say that I'm going to take points
No,
away?
you said if I say.
Okay, well, anything that's annoying like that, I'm going to take points away.
Roger. If you say that's annoying.
How about you just stop talking and let's go over our homework?
Oh,
Alright, so on these guys, the first A and B was on negative exponents. And what do we do when we have negative exponents?
You flip it.
Flip it. Okay, so when you divide like bases, what do you do to the exponents?
You subtract.
Okay, so what's 5 minus 30?
Negative 25.
So is that going to go on top or on bottom?
It's on the bottom. I'm just kidding. We're only at 9.
You do not give the points. I give the points.
So bad to take all the 4 I just said.
Yes. You do not give the points. I give the
John,
points.
you can have a point.
Alright. No.
Less 10.
You are not me.
Less 10. I'm your husband.
You are not.
What are you talking about?
Alright. What's 70 minus 75?
Negative 68.
Alright, so is it negative or positive? So is it going to go on top or bottom? Bottom.
I was like,
Roger.
Alright, and what's 9 minus 2? And is that going to go on top or bottom? Top, because it's positive, it stays there. Did anybody get that problem right?
Roger.
Alright, minus 1, minus 1.
That's
Where's your number strip for your team?
I don't even know.
Minus 1, are you serious?
Yeah, because he keeps saying it, he keeps going. So where's your number strip? It's under there. Grab it. Circle minus 1 on y'all's.
Really? John, we're trying
Okay,
to win.
I'll come back there.
We need to win. I'll circle it. No. Wait, so I have to subtract. I take
You wanna
one.
win?
No, we should be at 0, Miss Addick. We took a point. Miss Addick, we should be at 0. We took a point. What does that mean? We had a point.
When you total it up, I take away 1. But we can keep taking them away if we want to keep arguing about it. Alright, so 20 divided by 25. 20 divided by 25 reduces to what?
4/5.
4/5. Alright, now who can raise their hand and tell me what 7 minus 95 is?
Negative 8.
I said raise your hand and tell me.
And I raised my hand.
Avery.
Oh my.
So is it going to go on top or bottom?
I raised my hand first.
Alright, Sean, can you please tell me what 4 minus 72 is?
4 minus 6 is approximately negative 68.
Is that going to go on top or bottom?
That's going to go bottom.
Okay, and is it going to turn it into a positive?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, who can raise their hand and tell me what the exponent of C is going to be?
How do you know?
Caitlin? 99th power. Is it going to go on top or bottom? Fantastic. So remember, when you divide like bases, you subtract the exponents. So we subtracted those. Yes.
So how do you know it's going to go on top or bottom?
If it's a positive, it stays on top. If it's a negative, you move it to the bottom.
Well, hold up.
I don't know what word that was.
So 88 to 68 is negative exponent.
Hold up. Hey, you got it.
I still don't know what words you're saying.
So you subtracted 7 minus 95.
Yes, and I got negative 88, so it goes to the bottom, and when you move it, it becomes a positive.
And you subtracted 20 minus 25.
No, these are not exponents. These are coefficients.
So how do you get to
Because I divide. So the biggest number that goes into both 20 and 25 is 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So you divide the coefficients, you subtract the exponents. We're learning rules of exponents. Therefore, we would not apply that to the coefficients.
Hold up. Alright. Hold up. Hey.
Alright, are we ready for the bottom? Now, would you multiply 3 times 7, or would you do 3 to the 7th power? You would do 3 to the 7th power. And what is 3 to the 7th power?
Well, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 8.
2,187. Take a point. She did her homework.
She just did that in her head, oh my goodness.
Alright, and what would we do with the 7 exponent here? And you would get...
Wait.
It says multiply the exponent, so what would you do? And it would be 49. Take a point.
Hey, John, tell them. You can keep laughing.
Y'all are gonna keep losing points.
I didn't say anything.
All right. So with this guy, would you do 4 times 6 or 4 to the 6th power? And what is 4 to the 6th power?
4.
Avery. 4,096. Take a point.
Her mental math
She does her homework.
is blowing me away.
All right. And then 3 times 6 is 18. Fantastic. Did anybody get that right this weekend besides Avery?
Just that wrong, because
Hey, look at you guys go. Awesome. One person.
Good job, man.
I
I
was
explained my definition.
5 people. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Because I didn't know we had to put the numbers to their powers.
You do. Every time.
I'm going to go to Dakota and lockdown.
-2. Because you can't just be quiet. So keep losing points.
Look his face.
That's not the right side.
No, I didn't. I circled it.
He just thinks it's hysterical.
Alright, so today we are going to work on the back of our foldable. Now, when you multiply like bases, what do you do to the exponents?
Add them.
Alright, when you divide like bases, what do you do?
Subtract them.
When you raise a power to a power, what do you do?
Multiply them.
Multiply. And when you have a negative exponent, what do you do?
You flip it.
Okay, so now everybody please close this.
We're going to go right to the side.
Now, we're going to first write our 2 learning targets down for today. Today is the 6th. Alright, and our first learning target says, I can distribute a power. So by power, does it mean exponent or like we're X-Men? Exponent. Me too.
Oh, man.
Alright, our second learning target says, I can determine what, please don't write on your paper, to do with 0 as an exponent, which is probably the easiest one.
I wonder who won the puppy bowl yesterday.
Stop. Alright, are we ready? Are you ready? Do I need to read it to you? I do? Which one? Do I have what? No.
Use your saliva.
No.
Or blue. Or lotion.
Sarah, you gotta write faster because he's going down a rabbit hole and we gotta go. Alright, so in this first section, I want you to please write power to a product.
Why does it sound so familiar?
Because power to the people.
Stop. You are Asbury's enemy, number 1. You are number 2.
But I'm not number 1.
Alright, so please write this. Yes. Alright, so what is 3 to the 3rd power? 27. Take a point. Alright, so this is our product, and we have raised it to a power. So what you do is you distribute it to everything in here. You raise your coefficient to that 3, so it would be 3 cubed, which is 27. Now, what would you do with the 2 and the 3?
You add.
Multiply, because it's a power to a power, so you would multiply. And that would be 6. Alright, what would the exponent besides Shakim be for the y?
15.
Take a point. Besides Shakim.
You did.
And what would the exponent be for z?
18.
Take a point.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why you make your own.
You gotta pull your way out.
What's that?
Minus
I don't know
1.
why mother does
2,
that.
actually.
2.
Yes, so that'd be fine. So if we can.
Alright, so please tell me, what is a way that we can define this so you will understand what it's saying? Now, do we raise everything in here to the exponent? Is that what we could say?
No.
How would we say it?
You put it.
Yes, we would.
Okay, shut
Hey, he's talking to you. He's also on.
Stop.
He's a little special.
Alright, so raise everything
Brain.
inside the parentheses to the exponent. So what if I said,
You want to get married today? Do you like Anna?
Oh my god, what's singing that?
Remember because Anna married?
Stop.
And then he,
they didn't get married?
they almost but he cheated.
He didn't. That's not how it works.
Cheated. That's so I would need a broken it.
Roten?
Look, it says 12.
Anna would have cheated on Hanna.
Yeah. Alright, so,
Where?
right here, what kind of exponent is this?
The negative.
So what do we need to do? We would have to flip everything, right? Everything. So it's going to end up being 1 divided by. Now, what's 6 squared?
36.
36.
Are you? Why do you have to flip everything?
Because it's a negative exponent. Alright, so then you do 2 times 2, and what do you get? Alright, so a to the 4th. 2 times 2 again, and what do you get? b to the 4th. 3 times 2, and what do you get?
I heard 2 answers. What did you get? So you have to battle to the death.
6 squared is 36.
I just keep remembering you had to put the number.
Yeah, you have to raise, this coefficient has to be raised to the exponent. So this would be 6 squared. 6 times 6 is 36.
Oh,
Then you would do 2 times 2 for a, and you would get a to the 4th. 2 times 2 for b, b to the 4th. 3 times 2 for c, c to the 6th. Why did we flip?
Because
Because it's a negative. If it was a positive, would we flip?
No.
No, we would just keep going. Alright, so I can distribute a power. Can you do that?
Yes.
Fantastic. Why can you not do that? You were here just now. We just learned it.
Oh boy.
Alright, next I can determine what to do with 0 as an exponent. So please write 0 power.
Bless you.
Ugh.
Good.
No.
I read. And 8 seconds.
So if I say 67,243 to the 0 power.
It'll be 0.
No, it would be 1.
It's 1. Take a point.
Take 1, point 2, point 3, point take
You're never
3.
wrong now.
1.
8. Thanks. You know this happened. Dude, I would have taken this.
So anything to the 0 power is 1. Anything in the whole world. If I said negative 75 to the 0 power,
What?
that's going to be 1.
If you said negative 100,600,000.
If I say, I wonder if I can draw a shamrock. I doubt it.
What's a shame?
Samurai?
It's that, no, shamrock is like that green leaf.
It's an Irish thing.
Oh my goodness.
You know, Irish.
I thought that was a basketball thing.
Irish person.
Like Lucky Charms, the shamrock. If I said shamrock to the 0 power, that's still going to be 1. So anything, yes, because there's red dots on there for apples.
I see him.
Okay, stop. Alright, anything to the 0 power is 1.
Then what about to the 1 power?
It would be itself. Everything's to the 1 power. There's an invisible 1 hanging there. Yes. So if I have a rainbow to the 0 power, what's that going to be? If I said 65 to the 0 power, what would that be?
Wait.
I like how you do your 1.
I know why it's called a rainbow, because when it rains, it bows over.
Well, yeah, it just flies. Sword.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Small minds are entertained by small things.
Well, rainbows are actually fairly large. So big time.
But did you know if you try to get to the end of the rainbow, you'll never reach it?
For real? I don't even know what you said. You sounded like a rainbow.
For real?
Alright, so what kind of exponents have we had so far? Have we had positive exponents?
Yes.
Have we had negative exponents?
Yes.
Have we had 0 as an exponent?
Yes.
What have we not had as an exponent?
It's
A negative. A fraction.
A fraction.
I'm such.
I didn't tell you to take a point.
But you. It was like Avery. Take 61.
I missed one.
Avery doesn't make everyone want to scream and run out of the room with scissors.
Just everyone was screaming at I got 2 guesses.
But I don't, none of them have any screaming.
Yeah.
Out of the room.
And I don't have
Right.
He's so wrong. He's so wrong.
Oh, that's crazy.
Alright, so does anybody know what the word radical means in math?
Radical.
No, in math. It's a special symbol. And it's also called a root.
Radical means not
What kind of thingy?
that goes up. It's a square root and upside down.
Kind of. What'd you say?
You press it on the calculator and it goes to square root.
No. That's to do with exponent. But what is a radical?
It's not that.
None of you know? What about a root?
I had it.
Her radical is squares and number.
She's never got a haircut.
In her life.
It looks like, yes, the square root. Take a point, Caitlin.
That's what I said.
I asked you what you said, and you just went,
I said it again.
you didn't. Alright, so when you have a fraction as an exponent, so say, I want you to write under here, I want you to write C, page 41. Because we're not going into detail about it today. We're going to do that tomorrow or Wednesday. But I want you to know what it's going to look like. So if I have C to the 1/5 power.
What?
That's C to the 1/5 power. It's going to turn into the 5th root of C.
Bless you.
Bless you.
This is about to kill me.
Yeah, it is.
What you talking about?
So now, when you have a fraction as an exponent, this is called a rational exponent. It turns into a radical. So the 5, or whatever number is down here, would go into the mullet, and the 1 is just understood out there. How about you pay attention? Because you're going to be behind and lost, and then you're going to say, I don't get this.
That's wrong. This has been one of those secret homes.
If he would have a beast, why isn't he a Super Bowl champion?
Alright, so what if I said e to the 2/3 power?
It would be 3 radicals to the E.
It would, okay, kind of.
3 to the E.
Alright, so where would the E go?
It'll go in the center.
In the middle, underneath. Alright, where would the 3 go?
In the mullet.
In the mullet. And where would the 2 go?
It'll go on the outside.
Take a point, both of you.
Okay.
That's all you do.
Is that why there's no 1 on the one above it?
We get 2 points.
No.
Hey, I said it.
Oh, okay, that doesn't count. Alright, so the last thing we're going to write before you get your minion. Alright, write remember right there. Alright, write remember. So if I have 2 to the 4th power. 2 to the 4th power. What is that going to become?
16.
How did you get that?
Because 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 8.
Very good. Alright, so what if I had negative 2 to the 4th power?
Negative 16. No, 16.
Can we go, like, can we take a point on that one? Can we take a point on that one?
No.
It'll be 1 over.
No. It would be 16. It would be positive.
Hey, do we get a point?
No. Now, if I said negative 2 to the 4th power like that. Now, is my negative in parentheses?
I know why.
Why?
Because negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, times negative 2 is negative 8, and the negative times a negative is a positive, so negative 8 times negative 2 would equal a positive, which is 16.
Very good. Now you can take a point.
Okay.
Alright, but what about this one?
We should be able
If it's not in parentheses, what would it be? Negative 16. Now, what if we had... What? Yes. So this is the same thing. When it's not in parentheses, it's the same thing as if you had invisible parentheses around the 2 and the negative was on the outside. Okay, so what if I said 3 cubed? What would that be?
3, negative 27.
No, baby, just 3 cubed.
Okay,
27.
Oh,
Can I get a point?
Alright, what if I said negative 3?
negative 20.
Wait, I'm not done. Cubed.
27.
27.
Negative 27.
Negative 27. Take a point. Because it's negative 3 times negative 3, which is 9, times negative 3, which is negative 27. It doesn't matter if it's in parentheses when you have an odd exponent.
Yep.
So on an even exponent, it turns it positive. On an odd exponent, it's negative. Right, it's 3 times. So you have negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Times negative 3 is negative 27.
Positive times negative.
So you have to multiply it 3 times. Now, leave your notes out because you're going to need them in just a moment. And I'm going to bring around your minion. Activity. Now it says, everybody, let's read the directions together. It says simplify. Your answer should contain only positive exponents. So if you have a negative in your answer, have you done it right?
No.
Fantastic. You're not going to understand how to do this if you sit there and talk the whole time and don't pay attention.
We got it.
Will you leave it there for a moment? You would not be in constant confusion if you would pay attention.
Constant.
Alright, so what are we going to do with 4 and 5? The coefficients of number 1. How? What's the dot in the middle mean?
Multiply.
So we're going to multiply them. 4 times 5 is?
20.
Alright, now, with the coefficients, you do what it tells you to do. Remember, the properties that we've been talking about with the adding and subtracting, that has to do with exponents. The 4 and the 5 are not exponents. Those are coefficients. Now, what are we going to do with our m's?
You're going to combine them by adding the x.
Add them. Fantastic. Take a point if you said add them. What's 5 plus 3? 8. Alright, and then that says n to the 0 power. So what did we just learn that we do with anything to the 0 power?
1.
It becomes 1. So do we have to put a 1 there? No.
N.
So that's our, we don't put in. It became 1.
Oh, okay. So it's just sitting there.
So it's just invisible hanging out. So we have 20 times m to the 8. That's our answer. Now we're going to come up here to our answer bank.
G.
It's G. So everywhere we see a G, what color are we going to color it? Black. So you're going to come up here. And everywhere you see a G, you're going to color him black. We're not going to do that right now. I just want to show you what to do. Does everybody understand? Now, before we go any further, at the top right-hand corner of this paper, what does it say? The right hand.
Name, date, period.
So what should you put right here? All right, we're going to put your name. I'm going to put Blair Asbury because that's my name. What's today's date? So I'm going to write 2/6/17. What's the period?
6.
What should you also write?
Number.
And so I'm going to be number 26, and I'm going to put mine right there.
20563.
If your paper does not look like this, you will not get a grade. I'm so tired of of having papers with no name, anything on it. Not doing it anymore. Does everybody understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now let's do number 2. What are we going to do with those 5 and 2?
Combine them.
How?
By multiplying.
What's 5 times 2? All right, what's the exponent of my A going to be?
It's going to be 3. Wait. Oh. It's going to be 4.
Take a point. If you said 4, take a point. What about my B?
It used to be B.
Awesome. Now, what answer is 10 times a to the 4th power B? Everywhere we see a K, what are we going to color it? Look at us go. Do you understand how to do this?
George. I'll get the 4 power.
3 plus 1 is 4.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool does this sound?